All right, what is up, everyone? I feel like we should be getting started now, but my YouTube is messing up. I can't see my own. I can't see my own stream. All right, I think we should be good now. All right, what up, everyone? What up, germs? We're getting started. I am going to do my first SAT Solve live stream uh, in a couple years. No, in a full year, I think. It's been a long time. In that time, I've gotten married. I cut my hair, and now I'm living my best life and back at it on YouTube. So I've been pretty busy this summer, just doing a bunch of teaching, and right now it's been about like a couple weeks since the College Board dropped a bunch of new questions on the SAT question bank. And so today I will be going over some of the new questions, specifically the craft and structure questions. Now, I am a little bit distracted with the analytics here because I just feel like YouTube is bugging out. So, not the best start to the stream, but I'm gonna refresh window and hopefully fix everything that's going on over here. I think I see what the problem is. Okay, finally, it's fixed. Okay, that took a while. All right, so now ready to start. So you're gonna hear a little bit of construction in the background. Unfortunately, where I live, I just can't avoid that. But here we go. All right, guys, craft and structure from the July and August release. So I'm using this website. It's one of those like gray market websites where I'm pretty sure a year from now, College Board will take this website down. For now, it exists. It's called PrepZ, and it's way easier to use this website than to use the College Board PDF format. But if you are curious about the College Board PDF format, you can go to RSAT. Okay, if you want the PDF version of the website, you can go to College Board's 270 new questions. Mr. or Mrs. Tight Elk 2180 has generously filtered out those questions, so you can find them here. All right, whereas I am actually going to be using this app. Craft and structure, there are 59 questions. Let's go. So the purpose of this stream is to show you how I would actually solve it in real time, as you guys know with my practice tests. Here I go. There are many famous examples of pollsters making inaccurate predictions, but Sam Wang has said they should not lead to disregard polling entirely, because polling is not just about predicting winners, which is neglect. Ezra Pound's poetry can be hard to understand. Yeah, so comprehend. Following text is 1995. Ooh, bad formatting. Malloy has arrived at the town ramparts, elevated walkway above the city walls. Having cleared the ramparts, I have to confess the sky was clearing prior to the winding in the other shroud. Night, yes. And the sun was visible in the livid tongues of fire darting towards the zenith. Okay, I'm realizing I've seen actually some of these questions before, so that's gonna make it feel a little less realistic, especially because it's the end of summer, so I've been going through a lot of materials. So I mean, I'll keep pushing through, and you'll see how I solve. But this is not gonna be. It's gonna be a little bit different. That's just a bug. It doesn't do anything. Okay. Ah, I guess my website's better than this. Okay. Anyway, Gonna just solve. Keep going. During film's early years, those who worked in the industry had a vested interest in convincing the public. Okay. View of the world of cinema, perception of. Instead of because employing astronauts, relying on astronauts is expensive. Okay. Ooh, this is new. French lessons. When I started to talk on my own, I could not be stopped. I kept talking. When I was loud and unrelenting. Okay, that was a new question for me. I think I solved that in like 7 seconds ish. Long-standing paradox. Water critical. The presence of water likely impeded, hampered the formation. Okay. Scholars long thought that the initial spread of soap beyond China occurred in the 2nd century, but this view has been overturned by new archaeological 1,000 years earlier. Overturned, contradicted. Archaeologists have identified a plethora of beads from Morocco, attribute these artifacts apparent plethora to the evolution, symbolic behavior in humans. Availability is definitely plethora, ubiquity. Okay. Subak water management system has a rich history, significance, and history. The elements are joined together. They are unified, interconnected. Although the government of the Soviet Union attempted to suppress the familiar structure of the black swan shows tremendous flexibility. Pragmatism, flexibility, elasticity. No. Hang on. Flexibility, I think, is elasticity. Give me a sec. Demonstrate success in rearing cygnets. Male can also. Elasticity, I guess. Okay, I wasn't really thinking that. I mean, it's kind of a funny word choice, is why I kind of did a double take on that, but I think that makes sense. Wait, let me just double check. I'm being silly. Cohesion, affection. Yeah. It's elasticity. Process elimination for that one. Ancient Inca inhabiting the Andes Mountains used terraces to grow crops. Proved to be highly effective? Yeah. Effective. Steiger collaborated with Michael Gordon, natural history. Drum participation is central? Must be integral, essential. Yeah. Oh, look, integral. Casual description of blame it can make the work seem unambitious, casual, but it is complex. Unambitious, unassuming. You just had to double check, but unassuming is correct. Like modest, unassuming. Science fiction has long served as a, like like precursor, not precursor, but like not prophecy, but what's the word? Yeah, like oh, that's interesting. Inspiration. It's actually a little bit different. Catalyst. Before the Mariner 2 mission completed a successful flyby, a little more than theories. We had no information. Just the ideas were just ideas, conjectures. The marine ecosystem surprised by the extent. Sorry, extent of recycling by the algae. Okay, while some recycling of carbon was expected. Yes, recycling. They found to reabsorb a huge amount. Okay, recycling. Reuse. Let me just plug it in, make sure the whole thing makes sense. Some reuse. Reabsorb and harness it. Yeah, reabsorb and harness, reuse. Okay, good. Among stock market investors, the practice of diversification is regarded as really basic since it protects necessary. It really essential, prudent, because it protects you. Saltwater, there's clear association between habitat latitude and morphological variety. What up, EQ? While tropical species are blank, deep body physical forms, body shapes that are laterally compressed, but polar and temperate species are highly spread out across the morphological. Morphological just means shape. So, hang on. Tropical species are limited to. This is what this is saying is that the latitude affects, not affects, but like is correlated with the shape, the variety of the shapes, and then so they only have they have low variety, and these guys have high variety, highly dispersed, limited to. So ABCD limited to. I don't like how that sounds personally. Concentrated among, but I guess concentrated among these forms. Yeah, I mean limited to is that's the only one for limited to. Let's keep going. So EQ, you're saying last minute tips for the August SAT. Hey, let me know what your score is, what your target score is, and I can give you better advice. Zygomorphic flowers remain open and functional on average 1.1 days longer than actinomorphic flowers. Bilateral versus radial, got it. Bilateral is open and functional longer. Okay, I didn't know that. Extended period could be due to the small pool of potential pollinators and the greater chance. Yeah, due to. Attribute to. Oh, magnified by? That's strange. The extended period could be, no, due to. I mean, that's what I predicted. Okay. Bing Xie and her team have discovered plain zebras make at least 4 types of vocalizations. So also EQ, I asked you questions. I'm happy to reply. I just want to quickly like customize. So let me know what your actual target score is and where you are. Here we go. Plain zebras, 4 types, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quagga quagga. That's cute. Quagga quagga. The researchers used machine learning algorithms to, like separate the vocalizations by type. Yes, categorize by type. Categorize by type. Hey, okay, I hit the next button. Okay. EQ is saying 50. Oh, you're a high scorer. So last minute tips. Honestly, at your level, I'll pause really quickly. Oh wait, what happened to my YouTube chat? Oh, dude, I have not streamed in such a long time. I forgot about all this. Let me see if I can get my YouTube chat to show up on my screen, because this is looking kind of different. Please work. 3, 2, 1. Nope. What is that? Nope. Also broken. Well, that's annoying. What am I supposed to do with this? Wait. Let me see if I can fix this in like a moment. Oh, yeah. I think I. Wait. Why is the link different? But anyway, I think I can fix it. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go. So EQ is saying something. What's EQ saying? Oh, only 2 wrong. Oh no, not only 2 wrong. Anywhere between 3 and well, I guess depends on which test you're taking, but I guess you're getting probably between 3 and 5 wrong. 2 to 5 wrong on the reading writing. So. Yeah, okay. So the advice I'm going to give to you is generally applicable to most kids, but I will say, it is very, like, it is especially important for kids who are scoring close to perfect. And it's actually the reason why I get sloppy on my streams. It's the main reason why I don't get perfect sometimes on my streams. It's because you got to check your answers, and you have to have a sort of, it has to feel like a repeatable process that you just apply on every single question. So before hitting the next button, check your answer. Now, in my classes, in my group classes, what I teach is 5 steps. Isolate the answer, read it straight through. Here, I'll speak to the camera. Let's go. Isolate the answers, read it straight through, break it into parts, defend all parts, measure your confidence. And this 5-step check, this confidence check, is a key part of especially the last couple weeks of my class, where I focus on the mentality you need to start cleaning up all your errors. Because I'm going to guess, EQ, that if you get the one or two wrong in the reading writing, it's not that you didn't understand the passage, although probably some of that happened, right? Some of that is like rereading and stuff. I'm assuming a lot of it is, I'm assuming a big part of it is you're also dropping points on easier questions. Now, if that's not you, then, and if it is more about the harder questions, then I can give you additional tips. But let me know what you think about what I just said so far. Check your confidence before hitting the next button. Don't just move on to the next question in a rush. When you move on to the next question in a rush, you're very likely to accidentally make a mistake. Okay, let's go back to, can I restart time on this thing? Boop, boop. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing that exists. Check. What the hell is that? Oh no, I don't want to see that. What's this? Oh, that's so funny. That's like an ad right there. Anyway. I mean, I kind of wish I could do this, right? I wish I could just do gray market stuff. So annoying. All right. Back to this question. Starting at 420. Let's go. Her mind was a storehouse. Wait. Narrator, woman, rent a house, Ethan Frome. Her mind, storehouse of innocuous anecdote, and any question about her acquaintances was, she's a talkative lady. But suddenly she's not talkative. There's no hint of disapproval in her being quiet about Ethan Frome. She's just reluctant. In her constraint. It should be restraint. I mean, it's definitely not. What the heck? Does this work? Oh, that barely works. Okay, well, I'm not going to use that. I think that's just a... So, she has either a misgiving about speaking, right? She has, like, misgivings, like she doesn't want to talk about him. Now, on the real test, I would just move on and just make a guess and come back. And then... Hang on, let me... Constraint? It's such a bad word. There's no hint of disapproval in her constraint. Can constraint be restraint? It's so annoying. Her misgiving is reluctance and reticence. I'm gonna go with constraint is so bad. Misgiving is slightly negative. Wait, I found her unexpected. Here, okay. I'm gonna go to the next question. I'm gonna solve this and I'm gonna come back. Okay, here we go. Subscription model in which consumers do not deliberately cancel their automatic payout current fees for access to product and service benefits when consumer laziness is high. Many of the 8% stop valuing the passivity, laziness. Okay, let's go back to question 23. I'm zooming in. I'm just gonna reread this. Okay. Her mind is a storehouse of innocuous anecdote, and any question about her acquaintances brought forth a volume of detail. But on the subject of Ethan Frome, I found her unexpectedly quiet, shy. Suddenly, she's not talking. There's no hint of disapproval of Ethan Frome in her shyness to speak, her reticence to speak. But I felt that there was this insurmountable reluctance to speak of him. A misgiving is like not wanting to do something, and constraint is external. because she could be constrained. She could be constrained externally. She, dude, what the hell? I'm 50-50 in this. I just don't know. Guys, what, what, what the hell? Uh, anyway, I'm annoyed and I misgiving. I have misgivings. Like I feel bad about something, but it's like a little negative. And then, anyway, I'm gonna go with misgiving. I'm gonna go with misgiving. Okay, let's go. So EQ is. Let me know if you're still there. But you got 1580 with one wrong. Primarily on longer science-focused questions. And yeah, I mean, I have a whole set of techniques that I talk about here and there, but longer, especially science-focused questions, it gets a little. We for those questions, it really comes down to the nitty-gritty. So actually, if anything, I will recommend, hey, just come into my Discord server, just post a screenshot, and it's actually better if I work it with you. But big picture, I would say you have to identify the what I call threads. So sometimes the College Board loves to start with something like, microbial community, and then like 3 lines down, it'll just say microbes, but that's actually relatively easy. So I was thinking bacteria, okay, bacteria, and then like 3 lines down, it'll say the pot, and the pot, it turned out, was actually they put the bacteria into the pots. So when it says pot, you're supposed to be thinking microbial communities. So microbial community and bacteria and pot are all referring to the same thing, and you need to make those threads while you're reading. And a lot of times, and I say this because it's true. I say this pretty frequently. The faster you read, the dumber you are. And what I mean by that is when you actually watch like a person who's understanding the passage, okay, what happens is they pause at a very dense sentence, and then they use that moment to synthesize the complexity of that sentence, okay, and then what you'll see is with their eye movements, they'll flick up and down, and what I mean by that is they'll look at the right, just at the previous sentence, or maybe 2 sentences ago, or maybe even 3 sentences ago, right? But they'll flick up to like see what this word could be referring to, okay? And those flicks happen in like 1 second because they're not rereading, they're not lost, they're just looking for a verification of what this word means, right? I call that threading, and I have a whole thing about it in my course, but when you thread, that does not speed you up. That actually slows you down on the reading. And if you watch me solve hard questions on my practice test streams, you'll notice that more likely than not, I read slower than you. Maybe because you're a genius and you just read faster than me, and that's very much possible, okay? But I read slower than you. I also read slower than a bunch of 650 level students and 750 level students. I read slower than the vast majority of my students. I read slowly because I am pretty confident that when I read it slowly, I build all my threads out, I will know the answer. And when I know the answer, I have a prediction, I can look at ABCD and I'll match it. And so what happens is, even though I might spend 1 minute and 20 seconds on the left-hand side, whereas you're spending maybe 40 seconds on the left-hand side, you end up spending, 1 minute on the right-hand side, and I end up spending 20 seconds on the right-hand side. And you'll see that over and over in my practice test streams, also in like a lot of people talk about it in Reddit. If you look up my name, Saul Lee, on Reddit, you'll notice that everyone people write these like long write-ups about how, oh my God, I didn't realize you could just slow down and read. So if you haven't really intentionally slowed down, and now it's actually become, it wasn't really a common cliche. People have really begun to start the cliche of slow down and read. I want to take some credit for that, because when I started these streams like 4 years ago, like people were not really saying that. People are not saying that, and and now it is a cliche. Slow down, read. Slow down, read. So at least on YouTube. So make sure to slow down and make those threads. Yeah, the thing is, when you read faster, there's pros and cons when you read faster. But what I hate about the fast, like if you read fast, then what happens is that you end up doing the back and forth A B C D. You read A fast, you double check B, C, D, and when you keep doing that, honestly, it's just you're rushing so much the whole time that it's just you're exposing yourself to the chance of making a mistake, right? And the thing is that, you know, especially when I was young, I actually took the test more similar to you, you know, because my brain is computing so fast. Like I was smarter, I was faster when I was younger. I was computing so fast that it kind of didn't matter if I was like rushing and making mistakes, because I could self-correct. But basically, the entire test feels like I'm just rushing the whole time, and yeah, and I realized you don't actually need to rush that much. It's actually easier to just read the passage straight through than it is to like double check A and then B and then C and then D and then B and then D. Like it's just like a lot of work to do that. And sometimes these answer choices are longer than the passage, right? Combined, the four answer choices can be 50% longer than the passage, right? It could be a lot longer than the passage. So try slowing down. As they say in F1, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Okay, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. All right, here we go. All right, 6:30, let's go. Researchers studying how consumers develop their attitude towards brands have found that the shapes of logos used to present brand names are impactful. You know, a contributing factor. Okay, yes. I don't know how many seconds that was. Let's keep going. Copies of the thing. Political protest was originally distributed secretly. Okay, surreptitiously. To entire study participants, offer a gift card or other compensation. However, this EQ, no problem. If you have further questions, let me know. Otherwise, you can stay in touch with me through Discord. Practice may undercut the applicability of the study's results. Wait, let me reread that because I just got confused. Gift card, compensation. Undercut. People who join us in response to an incentive may differ in important ways from people who are just normal. An inducement, that is correct. Ooh, that actually was the first time I've seen that question. Habitat threshold, recycling. Oh, that's cute. I mean, cute is, sorry, that's a little denigrating, but that's like a cool idea. The form of these poems is thus central. Yeah. Integral. Let's go. The Tobias Gerstenberg tracking eye movements versus theory. People envision multiple. I've seen this before. Yeah. Hypothetical scenarios. So basically, hypothetical because you know where would have gone if the ball had not existed. So that's counterfactual. Arya cautioned similarities detected in Mars' atmosphere and meteorites make it tempted to treat as you know, similar, but yeah, we like atmosphere and meteorites. You know, like they can't be totally similar, right? Proxies. So yeah. Now I'm seeing a bunch of neural questions that I've not seen before, including the one right before. Everything Othman did was pose. Ralph never met a man who lived so much in the land of, you know, the gaze. What do you call it? The people's calculation. Oh, interesting. Consideration. Yes, or all for purpose. Players of online games are largely aware that the games collect data. They're often willing to trade some data for fun, but games are often quite shady. Shady. Knowledge, yes, shady. Opaque. Search for new impact craters on Mars. Seismic monitoring, orbital imaging is going to be more important, I guess. They are kind of mutually supportive, complementary. Okay. The Polynesian languages, a group of languages, typically have a broad array of consonant sounds. Has 9 consonants. It's 8, 9 and 8. 22. Oh, not broad. Limited. Modest. Okay, Yanjifu utilize brood carrier strategy, oxygen deficiency. Particularly something slight. Diverse. Okay, I guess diverse. Fruitful. Next. It serves, okay, I've seen this one. Bohemia, Pausanias, Sicily. So basically, situation is C, Camillo, serves P, wants to go back to Sicily, home. I pray thee, Camillo, stop begging me. It is a pain. It hurts me to deny you, and it hurts me to say no to you, and it will kill me to say yes to you. It is 15 years since I saw my country, though I have, since I saw Sicily, though I have lived most of my life abroad. I want to die there. Besides, 2 reasons. The second reason, the king, the master, the king of Sicily, is asking for me, and I might be some Malay. I might be a soothe. I could soothe his sorrow. I could soothe his sorrow, or so I presume to think, which is another spur. So function is, I am cautiously suggesting a second reason, which is I might be a help to my king. Hope that Pausanias would be comforted. Nope, not Pausanias. Wait, no. Compelled, and it's not Pausanias that we're hoping for. But so it is C. We have to go through this by process elimination because I would not say that this is merely speculative deserves the predicate. Like it doesn't really deserve the predicate for this sentence because the main, like if the underlying portion was merely the parts within the dash, or I overween to think so, then C would be absolutely correct. Okay, C would absolutely be correct because we're specifically focusing on the speculation part. But but they actually underlined from 2 all the way to allay as well. And 2 to allay is the main clause. I mean, this bit here is just a modifier. It's a non-essential. It's a parenthetical. You know, so I really hated this question when I first saw it. I think it was poorly written. They misplaced the underline. The underline should be between the two dashes. But anyway, you have to go through process elimination for C. Okay, here we go. How many more questions do I have? Oh my god, I'm getting tired. Oh, okay, it says it down here. 13 more questions. Here we go. In the past, historians want to check his diary and other papers. They had this visit on microfilm, which is a definition of what that is. Explains the meaning of a word. Let's go. The following text is adapted from Pet. Jam is a teenager who lives with her father Aloe and her mother Bitter, who is a painter. Bitter finished the painting. Dark morning. Well past midnight. Jam heard the studio crack open. She stared into the black velvet black of the room, and there was a weight thrumming through the floorboards in a low song, and that was how Jam knew the painting was done. Her mom's feet were singing the news. Her mom's feet was singing. The function is to emphasize the realization of the meaning of the feet, which is that the painting is done. Okay, that was kind of wordy, but you know, yeah, that's B. Wait, it adds to the idea. I mean, does it add? Yeah, okay. Indicates always sings. Yeah, it is B, which is yeah the oh because yeah it was already spoken. Yeah, it was already mentioned in the previous sentence, so it adds to is totally fine. Okay, just wanted to double check that wording. Following the eradication of the gray wolf in National Park, exceeded a healthy size for the ecosystem. Oh, elk became overpopulated. Elk overpopulation led to overgrazing of areas. Okay, so when you kill the wolves, you increase the elk. When you increase the elk, then others suffer. As scientists began to see, we started bringing back the. Sorry, elks. The. Okay, sorry, elks. We got to sacrifice you. All right, overall structure, problem, okay, condition, which leads to a problem, and then we reverse the condition and we fix it. So problem solution. Problem, not potential solutions. Why? I guess that makes sense. I mean, I don't like the wording. Yeah, that makes sense. It should be B. High confidence. Let me just double check C. Oh, I just zoned out. No, yeah, wrong. No, allowed was not the right word. Okay, D. Question, I mean, sorry, not D. Question 40. Built in 1970s, Raccoon Mountain is a hydropower facility. Excess power is used to pump water up of shaft, Summit Lake, gravitational potential, drains down. Oh, it's a whole thing just describing how it works. To explain, yes, B, but I was sort of zoned out while reading that. Let me do that again. Raccoon storage is a pumped storage HF. Okay, yeah, and there's parallel structure when it's low, when it's high, and then yeah, it just explains this one specific technology. Okay, Bram Stoker, 1911, Lair of the White Worm, Adam Richard at a port, the meeting. So, happily, so, you know, like, not fortunately, but happily, begun proceeded well. Adam, seeing that the old man was interested in the novelty of the ship, suggested, "Old man, stay the night. I'm ready to start at any hour and go anywhere that you suggest." This affectionate willingness to fall in with his own plans won the old man's. This affectionate willingness to do whatever I want to do made the old man happy. So the old man accepted the invitation, and at once they became not only okay. So happy. Purpose is to explain how is this to support this claim, which is they are getting along just well, just fine and dandy. It states the reason why. Nope. Flexibility in consideration strengthened. Yes. No. Curious about perceiving objects visually, lucid dreamers. Eye movements, smoothness of the tracking matched how sighted people track, suggesting that the brain perceives dream objects present other than, as in product of reality. So this is the evidence for the conclusion. Nope. Nope. Oh, comparable. Yes, comparable circumstance for the conclusion. Yep. Didn't predict that word, but here we go. A team of researchers discovered that matabele ants can identify a wound, treat the wound. Medic, mortality rate, matabele ants infected reduced by 90%. Okay, wow, amazing ants. Yes. Oh, humans. Overall structure, phenomenon, results of a study, and then potential applications. So, yeah, further research, potential applications. They study. Dude, I'm zoning out. I'm losing it. I have 15 more questions to go. I'm losing it. Okay, here we go. Oh, so many questions. I'm going crazy. Somebody asked me a question. Okay, Guadalupe Romero Villanueva. Radio card analysis of paint used in rock art. Patagonia Archaeological Site, CHI 1, revealing that images of... Okay, 8,000, predating by several millennia, reproduced several times over the next 3,000 years, coinciding with extremely dry and negative during period of... Oh, it's like Dune-like period. Okay, this is the the fact that helps us lead to the conclusion. Consideration, interpretation, that... Okay, A is correct. B... Nope. 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 Wait, rarity? No. Yep. So here we go. Reclamation, Aboon, fishing, Singapore. Black pomfrets. Temperamental. Some days it's just prawn or squid. Other days it's colorful. That's not even supposed to be here. Pretty random. Pretty unpredictable. Taken together, black, colorful. These are 3 different examples of showing the kind of the randomness, the spread of the various types of things you can catch. Changeable. Nope. Changeable? I don't know. Changeable. Is changeable the right word? It's like kind of strange, but it does say uniformity. That's medium confidence. Not frequently. Not... Not this one fishing trip. Oh, I almost went for C. Yeah, no, that's not. Okay, let me just double check. I illustrate the changeable nature of the fishing grounds where he is. Just changeable is the temperamental. Oh, interesting. Uniformity versus temper. I see why people might. Okay, and then there's also the unpredictability. So that is B. 46, phosphine, Earth, biological. In Venus. Non-biotic. There's no explanation for phosphine in Venus. Okay, so yeah. Research question, one finding that doesn't result in anything, and then, yeah, we just have a conclusion. We don't know. Well, recently become controversial is strange. I guess this is it. C must be it. C must be it. Oh my god, I'm tired. Oh, I have 13 more questions. All right, let's take a quick break. Oh, dude, I just saw 46 questions. All right, no one has any questions for me. What's your target score and where's your score now? And what's your... I'm dizzy, guys. Wow, it's a lot of questions. A lot of craft instruction questions. I don't get to take any breaks on. And it's just gonna get harder because we're gonna get a bunch of like cross-text questions. Okay. Oh, I get like no grammar break. I've been talking the whole time too. That also makes it harder. And it's also my first stream in like a year, like doing a solve stream. Oh, dude, I'm dizzy. Man, I'm dizzy. Holy crap. Okay, let's keep going. Ugh. Ugh, dude. Should I change the location of my face? I mean, I kind of don't like my face being down here. But I guess I guess that's probably the best place, yeah, because I've been covering up. I've been covering up the question. All right, let's go. I'm dead. Question 47. Here we go. I'm so dead. I'm just gonna pull my mic up to me, and I'm gonna do this from distance. And let's zoom in. Alternative history fiction, subgenre of science fiction. What if questions? What if India had started? Speculative counterfactuals, but they're commonly to. Oh, okay, yeah, that were positive. Okay, function. Examples of what if questions. That's A. That's C, I mean. Fiction is the topic of the first sentence. Just double checked. That is correct. We're moving on. I didn't even really read D. I'm going to move on. Batik originated as early as the 6th century. Fabric, wax, dye. Canting, wax, lines and dots. Cap. Batik. Canting is preferred, unique. Overall structure. Process, innovation, counter argument, something like that. So, nope. Nope. Maybe, but not liking it. No. Oh, two approaches? Yeah. Not relative advantage. I mean, I guess we kind of get this, yes. Medium, all of it is, nothing's wrong that I see right now, so I'm going to move on. Admiration of a certain title. No. Okay, so let me just double check B, how the technique has changed over time. Oh, no. Wait, what? Was it A I was looking at? Variation? Nope. Okay, it has to be C. Okay. And I'm just going to say two approaches. Traditionally, canting, but there's also capping. And then, yes, and then this is the relative advantage. Quicker, but unique. Sorry. So that is fully defensible. Moving on. Zhao, fictional, real events, non-professional, documentary style. Teenage actors or adults, okay, to put themselves into the role. Okay, resonance to films, personal, place, home, stated leave, main purpose, describer approach. That's C. Yep. Next. Technological advances have prompted companies to increasingly rely on automation. Yep. Streamline production. However, for products with higher symbolic value, like, I don't know, the Virgin Mary. No, never mind. Well, maybe. Humans, of course, like music. Yeah, like, oh God, who loves AI music? God. Well, trade between. Yeah, I mean, yes. So this is just a practical application of the previous findings. So practical implications, yeah. So I just kind of skipped A, B, and C because I didn't like the first lines of each. So I just moved until I found my practical application. So that was 4. I think that was my first time seeing that question. So yeah, that's me matching the answer there. Let's keep going. People tend to assume being happy is the ideal emotional state. It should be an ongoing aspiration. However, being negative is anger, problem solving, emotional, neutral anger, amusement. Okay. The assumption that gets undermined. Yep, C. Okay, 52. We are getting to the end. Synthetic leather, petroleum. Bacteria. Pellicle. Dyeing the pellicle. Okay, of course. So, okay. So this is the rejection of a particular solution. To indicate the characters. Yeah, that's C. Wait, I want to read D. I'm just like a little bit fuzzy. I'm a little dizzy right now. No. Yeah. 53. 7 more questions. Here we go. I just zoned out. Frugivorous, birds, feeding patterns, way they live, boundaries, range, selective. However, not selective when we're high or low because of competition. Okay, with other species. Okay. Main purpose, explain the correlation between the where they live and feeding patterns. Okay, that's B. Competition. Oh, Saul, don't poop out now. So close. Don't start making mistakes now. I wonder, am I just like sleep deprived? I feel dizzy. That's not normal for these streams. Here we go. Understanding sea turtles' migratory patterns, crucial for conservation. Adults are good, but juveniles no. Tagged and researched, released 6 juveniles. Passively drift against the currents. Okay, that's funny. They just like surrender. Main purpose. There's a research lacuna. What do you call that? Like a research gap, and then they try to fill that gap, and then they find stuff out. So, yeah, that's B. That's pretty easy. Question 55. Here we go. I'm tired. 5 more questions. Here we go. I've seen this one. Good art challenges, disrupts norms, but public art requires consensus. We hate consensus. Public art that fails to appease everyone by being boring enough provokes backlash. You gotta be boring for public art. Public art is commonly displayed for places that are not for art. Critics of public art therefore note that challenging pieces that don't effectively integrate within their, usually their picnicky surroundings, primes passengers, like as in preps them for appreciation. And this happens all the time. If they don't do this, then they will face backlash. Even if you can find the same art in a museum. Okay. I'm Whew. Let me just get some coffee. Guys, wow, I'm struggling. Okay, here we go. Based on the text, how would the critics in text 2 respond to this in text 1? This is talking about backlash. There's no highlighting feature on this website apparently. And this is talking about unfavorable, so they're talking about the same thing. And what would text 2 say? Text 2 says you need to integrate within your surroundings. The reason they will is unrelated to the. It's a little extreme sounding. No, 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 no. Contending, controversial, are not only due to the attributes in the works themselves, because it's due to the integration which is not in the works themselves. That's deep. 56, here we go. Chemical analysis of rock cores from Australia found temporary significant increase in Mo 2.5 billion years ago, which is apparently a G. I didn't know that. Mo is oxidative weathering. When we grind things down with oxygen. Oxygen briefly increased 2.5. Then, hang on. So, is this a conclusion? No, it's just a suggestion. Here we go. Slot snake, is that the same people? Nope, different people. Examined the Mount McRae, the same one. Since chemically analyzing can occlude, I can not preclude, but hide or cover or block viewage. Block viewage. Viewage is not a word. Block the view of contextual details. We used another methodology. We saw volcanic debris, which is not the same as oxidation. 2.5 years ago. Fluid could have reached the debris through macrofractures. What the heck? That's confusing. 2.5 years ago, billion years ago. Oh, and then long after debris. Oh, so after 2.5, there was oxidative weathering afterwards. Interesting, confusing. Most likely disagree about the answer to which question about. Oh my lord, question. All right, my brain is a little mush right now, but here we go. The question is, did the oxidative weathering happen only at that time, or did it also happen afterwards? Okay, yeah, I'm pretty good on that question. Did the increase in Mo in that portion suggest? No. In the maybe B, yeah. Attributable to. Is the increase in Mo in that portion attributable to oxidative weathering of the material found in that portion? In that portion. About the portion. At a point. Oh, I didn't even see the word portion before. Okay. In that portion. I don't like the word in that portion though. It's kind of confusing. But maybe. Bro, I'm lost. Okay, right now it's between B and C, and my brain is mush. Chemically analyze and lead to no. So B, is the increase in Mo in that portion indicative of an increase in atmospheric oxygen dating to the same time? Therefore concluded that it increased. I see. No, it's B. I actually misread this sentence the first time. Now I see it. Cool, that was fun. 57. I have 3 more questions. By the way, if you're here, say hi and let me know what target score are you going for this August or September or October SAT, and what is your current score? All right, here we go. 57. Whew. 3 more questions. I'm exhausted, and here we go. Let's just grind this. Let's lock in. All right, no more leaning back. All right. What does Tesla call their stupid performance mode, like Panther mode or something like that? All right, I'm in Panther mode. Here we go. Many teleost fish species are protogynous. Females can be males. Oh, these are interesting. They're different. size threshold. Interesting. So it took me a while to read that sentence, but just processing all that. It's an interesting idea. Protogeny, spotty wrasses, typical size distributions, and two mixed sex tanks. Cool. All males from tank 1. So tank 1 only has females. 80, but in no females. Okay. So they only change when there's a lack of males. Okay. The difference in the outcomes using the model presented in test 1. Using and the colleagues' experiments. Difference in the outcomes of the 2 tanks using this model. Oh, that's interesting. In Telia's fish, when there's already males, they don't need to defend territory, I guess, is my prediction. I might be wrong. It's my first time seeing this question. It's tough, and also I'm really tired. Okay, that's what I think that's kind of what I was saying. Wait, this second half. Dude, that doesn't use the model, so it's not D. Wait, I was thinking A. Once the males were removed, territories were undefended, and even small females could maximize their reproductive success. But the even small females is weird. And then, even small females. Okay, I mean, if this were the real test, I would just choose A and move on. Oh, okay. Let me come back to it because my brain is a little mush. I'll come back to 57. Hycean planets are a class of exoplanets with oceans of liquid water, critical to supporting life, and atmosphere rich in hydrogen. One AU. Oh, this is a tough one, but I've seen it before. I feel like I've streamed this one before. In Hycean candidate, noting that the planet ran on the inner edge. So the range is 1 AU. Hycean candidate. So this is about 1 AU away. Or inner edge, so just a tiny bit more than 1 AU away. A tiny bit more, it's at 1.1. Okay, 2023. Okay, and then now it's saying that this is 3 point. So actually, if you really want to be an exoplanet or a Hycean planet, then you actually need to be 3.85 AU. Far away from the star for this particular system. So you need to be far away. So that means the text 2 would respond to this research by saying that this dude is no longer, this K2 dude, K2 18B is no longer a Hycean candidate because it's too close to the sun. Oh, that's A. And that's because the chemical composition is this part, is the hydrogen-rich atmosphere part. And then unlikely to harbor liquid water, that is the liquid water over here for Hycean planets. So those are both proxies. That's a really tough question, actually. The only reason I got it that fast was because I've already seen this one before. I think when I first saw it, I took a little bit longer to get that one correct. Yeah, and then by the way, D is the wrong because it's the opposite of what you want. Okay, let's go. Margaret. Oh, I've seen this one too. Okay. Lame. Okay, Howard's End. Howard's End. King's Cross adjacent. To Margaret, King's Cross was like infinity. Its very location, hidden behind the sort of glib splendors of St. Pancras, implied a comment on the materialism of life. Those two great arches, indifferent, unlovely, were fit portals for some adventure whose product, whose issue might be prosperous, but would not be expressed in the ordinary language of prosperity, because what are these two arches? These two arches are King's Cross's arches. What's the unlovely clock? That's King Cross's unlovely clock. What is the adventure? What is the portal for the adventure? That's King Cross itself. And what is the ordinary, what is the non-ordinary language of prosperity? That is infinity. Okay. The interplay between ideological positions in Howard's End is broadly expressed in the organization of space. On the one hand, we have London, which is pragmatism and wealth, materialism, which is, what's it called? St. Pancras, materialism. On the other hand, we have the countryside, King's Cross, idealism, tradition, personal connection, aesthetic, infinite. Text 2 would agree with which statement about King's Cross? It would agree that King's Cross is a portal to the countryside, which implies a connection to tradition, authentic personal connection, and the aesthetic, and is the opposite of this thing. Okay, let's go. King's Cross. Oof, no. Situated at the journey, emblematizes the intrusion. Nope. Austerity, disillusionment. Nope. Connection between London and countryside. King's Cross suggests the possibility, intangible abundance, that is infinity, promised by the kinds of authentic engagements, that is tradition, authentic personal connection, and aesthetic, that the rural spaces seem to offer. That is D-Dog. All right. Ooh, that is 59, 58, and back to 57, and I'm going to finish this off. Assensansen, I'll come back to you in a second. Let me just go back to question 57, and let me just take one last crack at it. Here we go, one last crack. Many. So I'm going to repredict. You only get to reproduce when you are large enough to defend territory. And males are larger than females. Oh, A must be correct. An individual could thus maximize his lifetime by staying female when small. But then this last sentence is confusing as hell. Okay? Like, so when you're small, you're staying female, and then you increase in size and then you become male. But then over here it sounds like, bro, what the hell? All right, so when you hit a certain size threshold, A has to be correct, right? So now the small females are now large enough. Okay, yep, that's A. Yeah, and then this is funny. That last part is a bit of a distraction. A is correct. Okay. And I'm done. Oh my god, that was a lot of questions. Oh my god, that was brutal. That was so many questions. Oh my god. Okay, I got 2 wrong. Let's see what they say. Is this the freaking? I hate constraint. I complained about that, and this is B. Let's go with no males large enough to defend territory. As yes, actually, that is what I was thinking. Whereas females take 2 men up in large. Wait, that's so funny. That's what I was thinking. I just was lazy. Okay, no, I made the explanation for B at 57. I think I explained it exactly correct for B, and Asasazen, you are right. It is B. I think I just got a little frustrated at the end because of how long this whole thing was taking, and I rushed. But you heard the explanation. B was correct. And also, I really complained. I complained quite a lot about this constraint one. I still don't really like C as an answer. I mean, I see the reason why. Misgiving is too negative. I already said that while I was doing the stream. I debated back and forth on this one. Okay. Yeah, this is honestly such a crap. This is such a crap because constraint is not. We don't use the word constraint like that. We use the word restraint. Where's constraint? Reserve means constraint or repression. Bro. Okay, but those two. I don't feel that bad about constraint versus what do you call it? The misgiving. Like, because at that point I said it was a 50-50 and I was just gonna guess. For the fish one though, that was a mistake because I had the right idea in my head, but I was just too lazy to look at B, C, and D. Because if I had seen B, C, and D, I would have seen that B matched what I was saying. It would have that was a mechanical error, which is, oops, wrong. It's annoying, but it happens. So let's go to Asasazen. Asasazen, what advice would I give you for improving information ideas and craft and structure? So my first tip is do not solve 59 craft and structure questions in a row. Oh my God, that was brutal. God, that just took me out. 59 craft and structure questions in a row. Okay, that's a joke. Let me actually think about your situation. You maxed out, so I'm gonna guess you are around. I'm guessing you are around 700. Okay, craft and structure, got it. So actually, for this, I think it's good to see what I did with a couple of these questions. Like because questions 1 through 35 were all just word and context questions. And I think if you watch the 1 through 35 of this video, if you rewind and watch, you'll see what happens. I know the answer, and I spend usually like 3 seconds or less on the right hand side. So that is predict and match, and I really think predict and match is going to help you. It doesn't only help though on word and context questions, okay? It doesn't only help on these quote unquote vocab questions, okay? It helps on overall structure questions. Let's go and find an overall structure question. And part function questions, we were just looking at a part function question, these underlined portions. Where are we? Overall structure. So over here, if you go back to what I was studying, when I was solving this, I said, that is, what did I actually say? I don't remember, but let me think. This is a technique, and then I said, there is like a innovation, and then I said, but there is a counter argument to innovation, okay? That was my prediction in real time. And that prediction is actually wrong. It's not, well, it's not, it doesn't say anything, the prediction itself doesn't say anything wrong, but it's not the right answer. And yet, when I make that prediction, I can still match the right answer pretty quickly. And if you go back to question 48, which is just some random overall structure question, what I did was I looked at C and I was like, oh, that sounds maybe. I was like medium confidence on C on the first time that I looked at it. I looked at A, I looked at B, I looked at C, and none during this time I never looked back at the passage. I was just looking at A, B, C in that order without looking back at the passage. And then I look at C and I'm like, oh, medium confidence. And then I see me, and then I look at D briefly and I drop D, and then I look back at C, and then I go back to see if I can fully defend C, and then I'm sure that C is correct. And that probably happened in like the span of about 1-ish minute. You can go back and see if that's, you can fact check me, but that is about a 1-minute process. And that's because I'm making this prediction. I already have an answer in my head for the overall structure. The overall structure is a technique, an innovation, which really begins here, and then a sort of counter argument for that against that innovation, like when not to use that innovation, and make that prediction first. Even if that prediction is not the correct answer, it'll help you get to the correct answer. Your main issue with word and context questions is you might know the right answer, but you lack the vocab. Then in that case, you have to study vocab. But a lot of kids. Let me go and find a harder word and context one. Maybe this one. Like this is maybe not that. Oh, this one's an interesting one actually, because a lot of kids for this one, right? What they'll do is, let me zoom in so that this is. Okay, there we go. So for the I'm not showing the screen. Here we go. So a lot of kids for this one, I just did a whole explanation for the overall structure question without showing the screen. Sorry guys, I'm just like really out of it right now. But here we go. We'll do the prediction here. So prediction here, the prediction that I actually came up with was, and I think this was my first time ever seeing this question, zygomorphic, remain open, actinomorphic is not as long. They claimed that this extended period could be, and I said due to the small pool of pollinators, okay? And in my head, I'm thinking due to, and I look at A, B, C, D, and I choose C right away. But magnified by could maybe make sense, right? So I actually lingered on D. And then you know what I did? Some of you guys literally switch over to D. Okay? Some of you switch over to D, and that's because not because of your vocab. It's because you don't believe in your own prediction, right? Instead, what you're doing, you're plugging D back in, and then you're justifying D, and then you're persuading yourself of D. That is not your prediction. That is not what you were thinking. Not at first. So the same thing happens when the vocabulary is harder. And then you guys blame vocabulary because the vocab is the obvious issue. It's like, oh no, but I don't know what converted by means, or I don't know what matriculated means, or I don't know what abrogated means. Well, fuck matriculated, fuck abrogated. Like, do you even believe in your own prediction? Like, do you commit to your own prediction? Because it literally says over here, attributed to. Just choose the one that matches your prediction. A lot of kids will just choose the hardest word just because, right? Terrible strategy. And then even if you're not choosing the hardest word just because, what you're doing a lot of times is you're seeing the word due to, and you know that analogous is not due to, but you still spend 10 seconds thinking about it. You know that magnified is not due to, but you still spend 10 seconds thinking about it. And let me zoom out. You know, here, zoom in. Where'd it go? Psychology researchers commonly offer a gift card or other compensation. However, this may undercut the applicability of the study's results. People who join a study in response to a gift card, compensation, right? Your prediction is people who join a study in response to a gift card or compensation. I think I said incentive. My prediction was incentive may differ in important ways. And then you look at propensity. It's like, I don't know that word. Inducement. I don't know that word. Paradigm, I don't know that word. Appeasement, I know that word. Here, all you can do, depending on your vocab level, is eliminate anything that doesn't mean, okay, gift card or compensation or incentive. So which one is not a gift card? Paradigm is not a gift card. You already know that. Which one is not a gift card? Now you actually might not know whether appeasement is not a gift card or not. So appeasement, that one's a hard one. Actually, I bet a bunch of people chose D. And propensity is actually a hard one. But weirdly, actually, out of these four, most people would actually know induce. So then you would have to choose. So you should know induce out of these four and paradigm. So these are the two that you would know. And so if it says gift card, then you would just choose induce. Okay. You eliminate two, then you 50-50 it, dude. At that point, there's no point. At that point, there's no point wasting any more time. Sorry, that you're not getting that question. Just sacrifice it. Assume you're getting it wrong, 50-50, and move on, because you just did not study vocab enough for that test. You just did not study vocab enough, and you can't study vocab now. It's too late. As in during the test, it's too late to study more vocab. You had your prediction. You eliminated the 2 out of 4 that you actually knew, because the 2 out of 4 that you actually knew did not match your prediction. You have 2 remaining. Oh, true or false, you should spend 1 more minute analyzing the other 2 answer choices. Fucking false. Why are you spending 1 minute analyzing 2 words that you don't know? Spend the rest of your time on the other 26 questions. You're sacrificing this one because you just did not study the vocab. You're not going to get it. Okay? 50-50, move on, and then maybe you get lucky. Like, what are you supposed to do? You want me to teach you eluct? And you want me to teach you recondite? Like, you want the fairy of Saul Lee to land on your shoulder and teach you the word? Ineluctable means unavoidable, and recondite means having very academic knowledge. Like, but how are you supposed to know that in the moment? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right? You're gonna pray to Saul Lee, please Saul, tell me the vocabulary. No. Stop spending any more time on it. 50-50 it. Also, ineluctable and recondite is not a very realistic College Board 50-50. College Board will not force you to choose between those two. Not in the digital SAT. Back in the paper SAT, yes. Back 8 years ago, yes. In 2026, your entire generation's vocabulary level has already dropped. They're not going to do that. They're not going to force you to choose between those two. Okay, that's just some Princeton review or some Barron's question. That's not what the College Board does. Okay, So you take the prediction, you eliminate, College Board really does focus a lot more on, can you get the logic of the passage, okay? Yes, vocabulary is a main part of this. You can't ignore vocabulary, but once you have eliminated the 2 words that you happen to know, because you only know 2 words out of 4, okay? Because neither of them matches your prediction, all you can do for yourself is, well, I believe in my prediction. If you don't believe in your prediction, go back and reread the passage one last time. Reread the passage one last time and make a new prediction. And then eliminate the 2 that are not connected to your prediction. And then the other 2, they're just 50-50s. You don't know. And so you can vibe it out. If recondite sounds like the right vibe rather than ineluctable, then you vibe recondite. But you can try to do etymological parsing, but what are you going to get from? What are you going to get? Do you even know any other word that has the root eluct? I don't think you do. I can't think of a word that has the root eluct in it. So you just have to work with vibes at that point. 50-50 it, move on, and sacrifice it. And you don't need that question anyway to get a 750, right? You don't need that question. When you want a 750, you can get 3 or 4 wrong. So that's one sacrifice. Okay, you still get 2 more sacrifices. So move on, get high confidence on the other ones. Do not spend 1 more minute on that question. All right, guys, I have been streaming for 1.5 hours. I'm happy to answer any more questions, but hey, if no one has any questions, I'm also happy to peace out. So I'll give you guys one last moment. Meanwhile, I have been talking some terminology here, so I'll briefly explain some of this terminology here. So I have a course online. It is and I have a bunch of free resources here as well in the course. But once you get started in the course, I teach how to predict the match, defending all parts of your answer, which is a really, really, really important concept. I do have a practice test in here, And triangle transitions, this made a big difference for a lot of my students. I have this summer in August, as for the August prep, I have students who've been with me for 4 weeks, a bunch of students who've been with me for 4 weeks, and a lot of them jumped 200 points in the reading writing. A lot of them jumped 200 points in the reading writing, and I think I have now more than 12 students in the 50 club. The 50 club is when they have 50 out of 54, 50 out of 54. So they're all in like the 750 or higher range. So I have a bunch of students who have made big increases this summer. Threading the character is a massive part of my lectures, and then time management. I actually need to beef out this, so I'll have to add more videos to this. Realistically, I'm not going to have more videos to this in the August SAT, but yes, I talk about some major lessons. My live course is way more expensive. My just online theory course, where you just get to learn how to solve the reading, this is very cheap. It's $30 a month as of August 2026. So just letting you know, it's here. If you are curious about all the techniques that I talk about in my courses, you can actually watch the walkthrough of like how it actually works and how you can do exercises to improve those techniques on your own. Now, as in Zazen, I'm gonna quickly answer any final questions you're sending, and then I'm gonna peace out. Here we go. Do you read? Yeah, yes, read the notes. I always, this is actually just a general sort of thing here. Passage. Do I have a pause this video now and do it? Okay, so for this particular question, right, I'm kind of annoyed because every time I put my mouse over here, it does this thing, okay? But I can't. But anyway, you'll see what happens. So let me see if I zoom the rows. Okay, there we go. So over here, I always, okay, start. I do not start here. I actually start here, and I just read the passage as if it's a normal passage, but it's just easier because there's bullet points. So it's like an easy passage. So for a synthesis question, generally speaking, reading the synthesis question can take anywhere between 5 seconds because it's so easy to like 15 seconds because it's like, a little bit more dense, to sometimes 30 seconds because it's very dense, okay? The more dense it is, the more careful you have to be. I read it. Now, when I read the whole thing, does that mean I am being time efficient? No, it does not always mean I'm being time efficient. 8, maybe 6 out of 10 times, I am not being time efficient because when I read the whole thing, I look at the question prompt and I realize it's asking about a very, very tiny thing. Okay, 6 out of 10 times. And so I actually didn't need to read the whole thing. I just needed that one tiny thing. But you know what? Who cares? For those questions, those are the easy questions. On those easy questions, if I use the shortcut of reading this and then finding the tiny thing and then looking for the answer, I would have solved it in around 9 seconds. But then when I read the whole thing and then I do those moves, then I solve it in like 15 seconds. I lose like 6 seconds. Who gives a shit? Right? I will waste 6 seconds on just reading the whole thing every single time. Why? Not because of the 6 out of 10, but because of the 4 out of 10. The 4 out of 10, they actually do a bunch of little tricks, and in threading, in the threading unit, in unit 4, I talk a lot about this, okay, of like how they use different words to refer to to the same concept, and they'll do a bunch of like little tricks here in the notes, and then you look at this, and then if compared to the kid who didn't look at the passage first, when you look at this, you'll know exactly what they're talking about. And so you'll have a word that pops out at you, right? And that word that pops out at you, you're going to look for A, B, C, D, and you're going to look for that one word. And everyone else is like just brute forcing A versus B versus C versus D. And then they are actually now wasting time on the synthesis question, even though you're the one who looks like you're the one who looks like you're wasting time by reading the whole thing, but actually you get to skip the process elimination of A, B, C, and D
because you already know the word that's popping out at you. And so when that happens, okay, you save a lot of time. So on 4 out of 10 questions for sure. Yeah. It's and I actually predicted this. In 2023 when the digital SAT came out, I was like, "Oh my god, it's some video somewhere. I'm too lazy to clean up my YouTube so you can find it somewhere, but it's like I have a video where I'm like, "Oh my god, I love the synthesis question, but it is so stupid. It's like so dumb." Like and then I made a prediction. At the end of that video, I made a set of predictions. I said, "I predict in a couple years we're going to see harder prediction synthesis questions." Okay, and then I'm right. Starting at the end of 2025, we started getting really hard synthesis questions, and I would rather spend actually just to bounce off Asen, because I want to bounce off what you're saying. I would rather waste 6 seconds on like 2 easy synthesis questions each, so 12 seconds total, in order to have the consistency of reading all the bullet points anyway, and just to have confidence that my answer when I choose it is 100% correct. I hate choosing B with like medium confidence and then being like, well, fuck, should I read the whole bullet? Should I read all the bullets or not? Like that debate of like, do I need to read the whole thing? Like, why debate it? You should have just read it in the first place. And then you don't have to debate it. You don't have to make that additional decision, right? You've already pre-decided that you're going to read it anyway, and you're wasting a couple of seconds here and there. That's fine, right? So just commit to it. Yeah, and yes, it's not worth a gamble. It's not worth losing 30 points for an easy question like that. It's just not worth. Technical Sudeep, what up? Good to see you. And hey, everyone, just wanted to say it is 4 days-ish, 4.5 days if you're in the States, 4 days until the August SAT. It is 3 weeks and 4 days until the September SAT, and 6 weeks and 4 days until the October SAT. You guys are now starting maybe your junior years, maybe your senior years. I know things are going to be pretty stressful right now. You know, some of you haven't even really started writing your college applications, so you got to do that as well. I know it's a lot, but just remind yourself, the SAT is not the end all be all, right? No matter what situation, you know what, kids, there's somebody in the world that believes in you. No matter what situation you are put in, whatever amazing college you are put in, whatever shitty college you're put in, whatever non-college you're put in, whatever crap job that you're put in, whatever unfair teacher's classroom you're put in, I believe in you. You're you. You have your strengths, and you can make it out. You can use the resources that are at your disposal. You're smart, you're resourceful, you're ambitious, you're gonna make it. And the SAT is just one measure, okay? And it's not even a perfect measure. I think it's a great measure, but it's not a perfect measure. It's a flawed measure. It's just one measure of one aspect of you. It's not all of you. Don't take it too seriously. Take the studies seriously, take your growth seriously, but don't take the SAT too seriously, okay? So if you want to learn some more of the techniques, again, you can go to my website, which I have the link down here somewhere, okay? And otherwise, hey, good luck on the August SAT. Until next time, keep on learning, keep on growing. Peace.